deserts of New Mexico served as ground zero for one of the most important discoveries in human history, that of nuclear energy. The secret city of Los Alamos and the wide open spaces south of Socorro are now the stage for the highly successful WGN America series Manhattan.
But what really happened in the mountains of northern New Mexico? That's what we want to know. What did the small audience of scientists witness in the early hours of a warm July morning in 1945? We head out to the National Museum of Nuclear Science and History to find out.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
He knew the world would not be the same. Few people laughed. Few people cried. Most people were silent. I remembered the line from the Hindu scripture, the Bhagavad Gita. Vishnu is trying to persuade the prince that he should do his duty, and to impress him takes on his multi-armed form and says, "Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds." I suppose we all thought that one way or another.
Robert Oppenheimer had an experience with New Mexico. He had spent time in the desert Southwest as a young man, knew the area around Los Alamos, and was interested in having a place like that that was remote on the interior part of the United States, in the desert where Manhattan Project engineers could come.
The deserts of New Mexico saw the birth of the atomic age. In the early hours of July 16, 1945, the fruits of the Manhattan Project's labor came to realization as the Trinity test unleashed a power previously harnessed only by the stars.
No one had ever done the work that was being performed at Los Alamos before that time. There are people who feel that building the atomic bomb opened the bottle and let the genie out, and we could never put it back.
As interest in our nuclear history is rekindled due in large part to the success of WGN America's new series Manhattan, you can take a first-hand walk back in time and experience this firsthand at the National Museum of Nuclear Science and History.
Here at the museum, you can see artifacts that were part of the Manhattan era in the 40s and up to 1945. We have concurrent casings of the first two bombs. We have the car that was actually the limousine that Oppenheimer and the scientists rode in. We have behind me the gadget, one of the only one that we know of that is an actual one. This is what ended up being tested at Trinity site. There are many, many artifacts here, and the artifacts are the thing at the museum that make it so special, because it's not just the typed word or the television screen, it's the real object from history.
Set against the backdrop of the mission to build the world's first atomic bomb, Manhattan follows the brilliant but flawed scientists and their families as they attempt to coexist in a world where secrets and lies infiltrate every aspect of their lives.
And joining us now from the cast of the series is Kyle Cowan, Rebecca Wiggins, and Lauren Myers. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
First of all, congratulations. I want to highlight, you are all New Mexico actors, and I know a lot of you are back and forth between Albuquerque and LA, but for the most part, New Mexico is home to you, and you guys have recurring roles on this series. So, first of all, thanks to the producers for believing in the talent that you have here. Exactly. Yeah, really great stuff. So, what was it like working with the cast? It's a really talented cast on a very big subject matter. What was it like working on the show?
I thought it was like a master class. Like, I thought I was getting paid to take a master class with some of these people. It was lovely just to sit and watch them and do their work and just absorbing all of it.
It's great.
Yeah, I agree completely. I worked really closely with John just because I play the younger version of him. So I spent like a lot of time just watching him on set and, you know, figuring out his mannerisms and getting advice on how he does things and how I do things and kind of comparing notes.
Yeah.
And, you know, like it's not that different. LA is not very different from New Mexico.
Yeah.
That's great.
Very cool.
Becca, how about you?
I had a great experience. They were so kind and so giving, and just great down-to-earth actors to work with. I mean, I worked a lot with Rachel Brosnahan, and she had her big break on what is the show with Kevin Spacey?
House of
House of
Cards.
Cards, yeah. On House of Cards, she had her big break, and she was just absolutely wonderful. It's really cool to be working with people who are kind of at that next level for all of us, and now, so you know, we've been lucky enough to book roles.
Yeah.
So you all are from New Mexico. So how much did you know about the Manhattan Project before filming?
I knew a little bit. My great aunt actually worked in Los Alamos as part of the Manhattan Project, and
Wow.
and
Okay.
So cool.
so I knew a little bit, but I really started doing my research once I got cast, and there's a lot I didn't know,
Yeah.
which was
Yeah.
fun to learn.
Yeah, I didn't know a whole lot about it. There's like a lot of books about it, and I did some research, but most of my stuff takes place before the Manhattan Project actually happened,
Yeah.
so I focus less on that and more on like World War I.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I started reading a book called The Wives of Los Alamos when I found out that I had booked the role, and that just opened up a whole can of worms because honestly I didn't know a lot about it beforehand. And then after that I went to the museum and read every book that I could get my hands on about the war.
Because it's, you know, it's interesting as we talk about it, as you were saying, we know it, you know, and looking at the lens after the fact. You're playing characters that had no idea what was going on. You lived in secrecy.
Right.
Really, I mean,
Exactly,
you know,
yeah.
even your character, as you said, it was World War I. So, you know, one last big question. I mean, we could talk for days and days about this. I want to make sure that everyone knows Sunday nights on WGN.
Right.
Have you guys ever had to keep a really big secret like that? I mean, were you able to tap in? Because actors use what we know as, you know, going into
Yeah.
characters.
Right.
What did you use to tap into that, or having to live in a world of secrecy?
Oh wow.
You can reveal on here. I'm not saying reveal the secret. Lauren's
Let
like,
us
I'm
know
gonna go
your
to jail.
secrets.
I don't know. The coolest thing about playing my character was that she was military, and she was new military. She was one of the first, you know, not auxiliary female units in the military, and that I think in and of itself helped create a lot of fun work for me to play with
Yeah.
as a character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and how about you guys?
For me, my like main focus with young Frank was innocence and humanizing Frank. Just because in the show he's so stern and so secretive, you often don't really get to see the human side of him, and that was kind of the main focus that John and I had like talked about for him.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
For me, when I was prepping for Gladys, I just wanted to make it clear how important this world was to them, and that, you know, everything on the base, from her job in like the phone, you know, telephone room, that she really loved it and enjoyed it, and that that was their world.
Yeah.
You know, she couldn't have any contact with the outside world, which makes the stakes so much higher.
Yeah.
Because if you fail in this social circle, I mean, that leaves you with nothing and no one surrounding and supporting you.
Yeah,
and you can't speak with
absolutely.
your husband, so, you know.
Yeah.
So I
So much
focused on that.
secrecy and being transplanted out into the middle of nowhere. Well, again, folks, Sunday nights on WGN America. For more information on the series, you have 3 or 4 more episodes left of the first season.
We have
6. Oh,
7.
6. Great. Oh, okay.
Seven.
I thought it was an 8.
7.
Great. Fantastic. So lots more. We will have links to WGN America so you can catch up on the series if you need to do that. Keep tabs on this. Hopefully, we'll see you guys back in season 2.
Thank